Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me. So today I wanted to come to you guys and talk about entry requirements. So before we get too far, I know a few weeks ago we talked about COVID requirements. We talked about different requirements in regards to TSA pre-check, and we've also talked about just the passport, making sure you have that and all of your credentials. But also something that I want to keep on the top of your mind are entry requirements. So sometimes we talked about the passport is needed to travel to other countries. In conjunction with the passport, you may also be required to complete a travel authorization form. You may also be required to complete a visa. You may also be required to get a particular vaccination. So I wanted to come to you guys to share with you, what does that mean? So what does it mean to have a visa? So a visa is like a travel authorization that allows you to travel within a particular country for a certain time frame. They will let you know what that time frame is, but it is very, very, very crucial that you are aware of how much time you'll be in country, and also if there's any additional requirements. Sometimes, definitely with the visas and your other entry requirements, some of them you can do in the airport, but due to COVID, a lot of times they're going to want to do it pre-airport just to, alleviate the need to have people in mass forms in the airport. So make sure you're aware of if your country that you're traveling to requires a visa. I know some of the top places to travel for U.S. citizens to have a visa include China, Australia, and Brazil. Now, I went to Brazil about, last year, February, and I do not remember having to sign up for a visa. However, my research shows that it is requirement, so it could have been something that happened in the airport. Sometimes they give you a form to fill it out. You just fill it out and boom, it's there. Now let's talk about the cost. Sometimes the cost of a visa is going to be free. They just need you to fill out a form. I know travel authorizations. I know Mexico, Jamaica, they have travel authorizations. It's a really quick form that you fill out. Sometimes you can scan it and fill it out on your phone as well too, thanks to technology. But you do want to make sure that if it's required, you have all the documentations that you need. Sometimes it's going to be inclusive of what airline you went through, what information you could pretty much get off your ticket. So make sure you keep your boarding pass until you're sure that you have completed it, if you have a physical boarding pass. I also highly recommend that you get the app for the airline that you're traveling to, because it'll have all of that information in the event that you get almost towards the exit of the airport, and that's when they need you to complete it. Also too, it'll allow you to kind of keep track of it. If you are able to do it beforehand, you can kind of dig up all that information on hand. So it's so important that you're aware of if you need a visa or a travel authorization. Also, don't forget that you may also be required to get a vaccination. So I know the word vaccination rings a lot of crazy bells for us right now, but there are certain immunizations that you will need to get into certain countries. For example, when I went to Kenya last year, I did have to get the yellow fever. Now, it was something that was required. When I got my visa, they did not, honestly, when I was there the entire time, nobody asked for it. When I came through the airport, no one asked for it. When I signed up for my visa, no one asked for it. Nobody asked for it. But it's important to have because it's highly recommended. When I came back, I wish I had a picture of it. I'll see if I do, and I'll put it there if needed. But guys, when I went to Kenya and I went to the coast for the weekend, Malindi, I looked down at my leg. I hadn't realized it. My friend, she was with me. She was itching. And I looked down. I wasn't itching, but my entire leg was bitten up. We stayed in a villa, so the villa kind of gives you a little more indoor vibes. So I was when I came back out, my leg was so sore because I then realized that I had these horrible mosquito bites. And what yellow fever is, it's also a way that you can get you can get the yellow fever through mosquitoes, primarily. So making sure that you have those immunizations, regardless of if they are looking at your records or not, are highly, highly important, because in the event you go to a local part of the country, or rural part of the country that may not protect you as well as the inner cities, it may be important that you have that. Also, with that, you do get like a little cute card that they kind of show, kind of just like our current vaccination and things like that. So just kind of keeping yourselves protected is very, very important. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that. Now, I do want to share a really, really good quick story and disclaimer before we begin, disclaimer for the day. So disclaimer, I am by no means telling you to get any particular vaccinations. I'm not recommending that you have to get a particular vaccination. I am just making sure that if a country requires it as a part of the entry, that you do your due diligence and you make sure that you are up to date on anything that's required, so it does not delay your entry. Because if you do not have these immunizations and they ask for it, whether it's by random search or whether it's through the entry through the airport, I got lucky, no one asked me, but they could have. And if they did and I did not have it, I will be on a one-way back to the US. So making sure that you are protected to make sure you have a great time is so, so important. Also, going back to the visa, the visas, they cost, it may vary. So the cost of mine was $50 to get into Kenya. Sometimes the travel authorizations are free. Sometimes the visa is free, but they do want to kind of know where you're staying, what you're doing, why you're here in their country, and making sure that you're willing and you're agreeing to abide by the law of the country. So that's kind of an important caveat, that you want to make sure you're aware of the law of the country you're going to, because through a travel authorization, through a visa, you are signing off saying that you will abide by the law. And it could be a small law, like in Kenya, you cannot have the plastic bag, shopping bags that we get in like Walmart, Target, things like that. Those are banned. So a lot of times you'll see people with straw bags. You'll see people with like IKEA type bags, or those type of more durable, reusable shopping bags. But that's because the normal plastic bags are banned. If you are seen with the plastic bag, it is a hefty, hefty fine and potential jail time, I guess, if you're a repeat offender. So it's really, really important that you understand the local laws before you travel. So that's something to do as well in conjunction with getting ready to enter into another country. Also, so I wanted to share a quick story with you guys surrounding my visa experience getting into Kenya. So first and foremost, I knew about yellow fever, so I was prepared. I'm like, let me go get my yellow fever. And then I was like, oh yeah, they do have a visa requirement. So I booked my trip to Kenya like almost back in, I want to say I went in September. I think I booked it back in maybe like May. And so I had plenty of time to actually get my documents and schedule my visa. And so I'm telling you guys this story because I don't want you guys to be like me. I want you to go get your visa as early as possible, okay? Because I waited to the week before my trip to try to get my visa because I'm thinking it's like a travel authorization, a real quick, online situation. You can go, you can pay for it. It was $50. And that's it. No. So I had to put down a lot of great details. They wanted my passport. They wanted my current location. They wanted emergency contacts. They wanted additional contacts. They wanted my mother's name, my father's name. They wanted, what else they want? They wanted where I would be staying. And they also wanted receipts for these things. It wasn't just like your quick little form. They actually wanted to see like the receipt of where you're staying They wanted your picture of your passport along with all the information in it. And it was about 6 to 8 pages of details of your travels and agreements and things like that. So once I completed it all, I was like, okay, no problem. I sat down, took maybe 30 minutes to fill it out and get all the information inputted. And I thought that was it. So it came back with like all these errors from they recognized that the names weren't right and my picture. So my ID is from like 2016. And apparently that's not as up to date of a picture that they would like. So they wanted me to get another passport picture. So they said a white background, and as you guys can see, I have a green background. And then my other walls are not like the perfect white. So they did not agree with that. They kicked it back. And remember, they're on a different time zone. So this is like a day-to-day experience. Also, another issue with my visa at the time was my stay. So my friend I was traveling with, she put in her visa first. When she put in her visa first, she put that she was staying here, right? Like, and she kind of, I guess she just put it like she was staying here. And then when I put that I was staying in the same location, they said, no, someone's already staying there. So I literally, the only way to get around that, I had her email them. I had myself email them like, hey, we're traveling together. That's why we're staying this. They said, no, you need your own place to stay. So I literally had to book an additional Airbnb in order to get it approved. So I literally got it approved like 2 days before my travel. And that's very, very risky. There's not a way, although they used to support in airport, they do not. So there's no way that you think you're gonna arrive and try to get that visa. So if you do not have it before you leave, you're not going to be able to travel. And some airlines will actually, if they know the country has certain documentations required to enter the country, they're not going to let you aboard on the airport in the airplane unless you have certain credentials, certain travel authorizations or certain not immunizations because of HIPAA, but normally like if they know there's a document that's required that they can help fulfill, they won't let you aboard until you have that document or you're willing to complete it if they have an extra copy. So it's really, really important as a part of your credentials, getting ready to leave for a vacation, that you do your due diligence and you look up these things, because you could be stuck in the airport. You could be sent back home, or you will not be able to travel. So you don't want to waste all that time and money and effort and not be able to have fun or go on your vacation. So I say all that to say, I wish you the best of luck in making sure that you have all your credentials, and make sure to check out the free flight deal below in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you subscribe, put I subscribe in the comments. But thanks for joining. And this was just a quick video. Have a great day. Bye.